Hello everyone, welcome to my Resident Evil 3 Remake, Inferno difficulty, no damage, S-rank walkthrough, and this is from the beginning area to the Drain Demo section. So yeah guys, Resident Evil 3 Remake is finally out, and I'm finally getting the chance to do a walkthrough very early on, because this definitely needs a walkthrough. This difficulty that I'm playing on right now needs a walkthrough, it needs a lot of commentary, and I need to explain a lot of things with this game. And the first thing is that I absolutely love this game, I really do. This game is definitely a lot better than Resident Evil 2 Remake, because it satisfies a lot of the requirements that really make it feel like a Resident Evil game, with its mechanics, with its enemies, just with a lot of the different things you're doing in this game. Like, it's a really fun game. I definitely feel like this game has a lot more replayability than Resident Evil 2 Remake. However, it has problems. It has a lot of big problems. And I'm not going to have a lot of time to talk about the positive aspects with this game, because there are way too many negative aspects that really bring down this game's quality, and it makes me not appreciate it to the degree I would really appreciate with a true Resident Evil game. And on Inferno difficulty, all of the problems that this game has are magnified 1,000-fold. And we're about to make our way over to the Trial by Fire section of the game to see if we can actually do this difficulty. So, the first thing you'll notice about this difficulty is that the item placements are different. You can now get the Magnum very early on, and it's really helpful. And then you'll also notice that the enemy placements are different. So, there are aspects of Madhouse difficulty contained within this difficulty, but the biggest problem with this difficulty is that it lacks the elegance that Madhouse difficulty had in Resident Evil 7. And this right here, if you take the path exactly like how I do it, you'll be able to get past this whole entire encounter here and save that flash grenade. So you gotta get past that first zombie as he's turning around, and then you've got to dodge twice so that you can avoid the blue shirt guy, and you'll be able to get past that section. And then this part right here, get rid of these three zombies. These three zombies are an absolute pain. They will gang up on you so easily when you try to backtrack back to this area. And if they are clustered together, you will not be able to dodge past them. And on the topic of the dodge by itself is a really good mechanic. It's functional, it works really well, it's very useful against so many different attacks, but the way the dodge system interacts with a lot of other systems is really where it's going to fail you the most. Because when you're using the dodge system and it's interacting with the enemy systems, it's going to lead to a lot of broken play. Because one of the biggest problems with the dodge system is that during the roll animation, you are completely vulnerable to attacks. And on this difficulty, there are moments where you dodge a zombie's grab, and then that same zombie can initiate another grab during your roll animation and grab you, which is incredibly unfair. However, there are safeguards put in place to prevent this from happening. When you go into the slow-mo mode with the knife, for instance, during a particular interval in that animation, Jill will automatically dodge attacks. And if you go into the slow-mo mode with a gun, you can press R1 to initiate another dodge to avoid an enemy's attack, and the dodge timing is extended because of the slow-mo. So these safeguards are kind of helpful. But the biggest problem with these safeguards is that they only work if you're at a position where an enemy is doing an attack at distance. So if you're directly next to an enemy and they start an attack, the safeguards won't work. The latter is the main case most of the time on this difficulty, especially when you encounter any alpha parasites or paleheads, which are the most broken enemies in this game, and they should not exist. Oh, by the way, right here, this is completely random. There are times on this section where you just get grabbed immediately upon going through the door because the zombies were standing behind the door. This was a thing in Resident Evil 2 Remake, and sadly it's back in this game, which is completely unfair. And trying to roll past those guys is so hard to do because, as I've already mentioned, you get no iframes during the roll animation, and the safeguards in play will not help you out if the enemies are so close to you when they do their attack. So I just used a grenade on that section to avoid the RNG factors of the broken designs of this game. I just don't understand how this game got released in the state that it was. Maybe the coronavirus stalled the final game development when they were testing out the systems, but these are such big problems. Like, you can't avoid these issues. They're right under your noses. It's just so bad. And Capcom said this game is designed for knife only, but with the kind of state that this game is in when it comes to its broken systems, it can't be designed for knife only. It's physically impossible to do this game knife only, because you can't do this game no damage without using all the guns. Oh, this section right here, you don't have to kill the dogs like how I'm doing right now. You can use the generator in your pistol, and then right here, you got to stay close to these anti-alpha parasites and dodge them accordingly. If you stay close to them, they will always do the fast attack, and you can get past them. That's a really well-designed section. That's definitely one part of the Inferno difficulty I really appreciate. Same with that section where you can run past the zombies after picking up the flash grenade. But going back on the topic of knife only, even if the broken designs of Resident Evil 3 Remake are fixed, I still wouldn't consider this game possible to do knife only. There are a lot of sequences on this game where they throw so many enemies at you, and the placement of certain enemy types on Inferno difficulty is not elegant or properly thought through to make this difficulty functional. And the boss fights take far too long and have questionable design choices that don't accommodate knife-only runs. I can't imagine anyone at Capcom thinking that spending 30 minutes on a boss fight is suitable for knife-only. Doing knife-only on this game completely breaks the fundamental foundations of the gameplay, and it makes it look unfinished and unpolished. So either Capcom is lying and filling everyone with delusions of grandeur, or the articles that convey this information are fake. That's just one of the things I need to talk about with regards to Resident Evil 3 Remake, and there's more to come. But that is the end of this section, and by the way, to get S rank, you need to beat the game in under 2 hours using only 5 saves. Yeah, guys, 5 saves, not 3 saves like it was with Resident Evil 2 Remake, so that definitely shows that this game is a lot harder than Resident Evil 2 Remake, and more bullcrap than Resident Evil 2 Remake. This first save is definitely needed, because the upcoming section with the drain demos is annoying to no damage, and I need to practice it a lot more before I decide to post that section. So, stay tuned for the upcoming videos, welcome to my walkthrough, thank you all for watching, and you take care now.